what would you give as a bit of advice to anyone who is wanting to break into something but feeling fearful of next steps to make, being fearful of, am I passionate enough? Can I do it? What sort of advice would you give to someone who needs to break out and be more passionate and be okay with failure?
Well, I think when we started, the beginning of the conversation was that passion isn't something, maybe it's not something that is this immediate energy that is this huge, all-encompassing force. Maybe passion needs to be redefined and you have an interest in something that grows into a passion. So, but I think that if you are a person who is not sure what they're passionate about, I would think that you have to look at what you're interested in. What are your interests? And I would think follow those interests and look at maybe what are you most interested in, and maybe look at examining that and sort of peeling away the layers, because that might show you what maybe your passion is or what your desires are. And I think that grows, and allowing yourself to even begin to look at it that way and to think about it that way, that gives you the opportunity to examine, okay, maybe I take this little kernel, this little nut of something, and I take a little step forward with that, just a little step forward. And I think that if you open yourself up to the universe and what the universe has to offer, I think things start to sort of, you'll feel it. You'll feel a flow. I think that it's a creative flow. It's a support. You'll feel a support from the universe. You'll feel somebody maybe has a conversation with you and says something interesting to you, or you watch something on television. And I think it's a matter of staying open and paying attention to what's happening around you. And I think that's what guides you, I think, into moving forward. But I think it's also taking that step and looking at whatever that nut or that kernel is for you, and being able to examine it and being able to just take a step forward. I think doing one step, even if it's just one little thing, that creates momentum. And I think momentum is the key to building passion.
I agree. I think being able to have a passionate feeling about something is so important. I mean, sometimes in my work with Wonder Women, it is everything for me. I just love this work, but it's not like I necessarily know what the future has in store. I just have a belief, an understanding that with my passion and with those little, as you said, those little rewards that you get along the way, it could be in the form of conversations, it could be in the form of new people that you meet and opportunities that come about that would have never happened had you not been following your true passion. So I feel everyone needs to really pursue those things that they want to and break out and be okay with, leaving that job perhaps. It could be really scary, but do you really feel passionate about what you're doing at the end of the day? I think about this all the time, and I am always very passionate about what I'm doing. And that is my idea of success. To feel passionate about it, feel happy about it, and to know that no matter what happens, I'm living, my true self. So I'm very curious to know now that the Forever Dusty production has just ended here, and I know you're going to have it elsewhere. Tell me a little bit about what's happening next.
We're moving the project to Los Angeles, so I am going there to set it up, and it looks like it'll open in September. And then we want to take it to London, and I would like to bring it back to New York, possibly on Broadway. That's what I'd love to do. That would be my dream. And whether or not that will happen, I don't know, but I'm definitely shooting for that. It's a bigger step than off Broadway. It's a lot more, sort of like we're saying, a lot sort of more people that have to come into my path, and I have to sort of, okay, that's my vision, and whether or not that's my trajectory is remains to be seen. I wrote a film on Dusty Springfield. My husband and I co-wrote it together, and it was in the finals at the Sundance Writers Lab. So we would love to make this film, and so we have a couple people looking at making the film, and that actually was I love film is a huge passion of mine, and I think theater is an incredible direct medium. I feel like theater is a direct medium for the soul, but what film does is lives on. Theater is like building an ice sculpture, because it constantly melts and it's constantly different every night, whereas film is a permanent way to tell your story, and it'll always be there. And so that's what I love about film, and why I want to do this story on film. And I'm incredibly passionate about that. And I think, I hope moving back to Los Angeles might help that. I don't know. It's part of what I want to do. It's part of the journey. And, these are big, obviously lofty ideas that are dreams. I also feel like if I made this project happen under really, really intense circumstances, that were not, like I said, not easy, and I just had to keep going and not give up, then I can say that I was supported in my vision, if that makes any sense. So even though it was difficult, I was continued to be supported. And so I have to dream big, and I have to look at big pictures, because I have to say, okay, this is what I know is possible, and I also have big spiritual ideas, like that things I want to do for women in this world, and to give back, and later, hopefully later in life, hopefully sooner than later, but I have these wonderful big visions that I don't know if they'll all come true, but they're still there for me. I would it's not just about Dusty Springfield, it's about a bigger vision for me to help heal the planet. And give back to the world. Like, that's sort of, it sounds, these are all very grand ideas, but it is, that's how I want to live my life. Whether I'm successful at it is, but that's what I want to do. I want to give back to the world. I want to give light to the world, and I want to help heal the planet. I think the planet needs healing. I think it's not in the best of places sometimes, and I think the more people that try to focus on giving back and healing the planet, and if we all bond together, and I do think it's possible, and that's a big grand idea too. Can you live in a world with peace?
When I came and I saw the production, and I spoke with Mike, who should be here soon, because you're going to be doing a performance for us. And he and I had a chance to chat a little bit, and I wanted very much to have you here as my guest because of your story. I love Dusty Springfield and what you did, but there were elements of the person that would make this happen. And I knew that it was not an easy project, and I knew that you obviously had a lot of passion around it, and you overcame a lot of obstacles, and it seems to me that a lot of the women that I'm talking to that have become successful at something have an element of spirituality in my conversations with them. How spiritual are you, even though we're talking about passion, but how much is spirituality a part of your driving force?
Spirituality for me is everything. So it's the very fiber of who I am is spirituality. So I'm a human being, having a spiritual experience, but which means I make a lot of mistakes. I have a lot of, I do things wrong quite a bit. I'm not a perfect person. All of those things of being human that come with this shell. But my goal in life is to live my life in in a way that brings, like I said, light and love and joy and peace to the planet. Do I succeed at that always? Absolutely not. Am I human? Absolutely. Do I make a lot of mistakes? Yes. But, my whole fiber of my being is, God, please use me. Please allow me to be the best that I can be today. Please allow me to come across who I need to come across today to make our, whatever the fabric of this place a better place to be. Am I always in that state? No, but you know what I mean? It's what I strive for. So, and what I strive for is to, I'm Jewish. I was raised Catholic. I'm Italian and Irish. I converted to Judaism 10 years ago. I lived my life the Jewish philosophy is interesting to me in a lot of ways. I obviously converted, that's why part of why is because it was a philosophy. It was a way to. It was a guidebook and a way for me to live my life that felt very true aligned with the spirit of who I was. But I'm an incredibly spiritual person, and I believe that all religions every religion has their place. Every person, whatever their belief is, it doesn't matter to me I don't judge other people, and all I wanted them to do is to be happy and to be fulfilled as a human being and to be the best that they can be. And whatever religion or thing makes that happy for you, or you feel like you're fulfilled, as long as you're not hurting yourself or others, I think that's a wonderful thing,
So in all, in sort of finding yourself and in coming together and meshing all the elements of Kirsten, your spiritual aspects, physical aspects, taking care of yourself, they have all come together to sort of fuel your overall passion and to allow you to take the next steps in your life. Is that correct?
My faith has allowed me to take the next steps in my life. I pray, I meditate, I listen, I do my best. I go to chiropractors, acupuncturists, massage. I do, and I do my best to stay within the healing arts, because I think that's there's incredible people that are in this community that do that, and the healing arts are really important to help you align in what you do. I still swim. I do my best to be healthy. I eat healthy. I juice. We were talking about juicing. I do green juices almost on a daily basis. I live pretty, without wheat or dairy, or, I try to stay within I eat a lot of vegetarian, vegan food. I'm just healthy. I'm pretty healthy.
And I think like with any emotion, like feeling passionate about something is great. But then how do you make your body do what your mind wants to do? It's like, okay, we know we're passionate about something and we want to get to the next level. And what are the things we need to do to get to that place? So it's community, having good health, taking care of our bodies, taking care of our minds. And I think telling other people and sharing that story about what it is we want to do makes a big difference, because then all in all it is propelling you to take those next steps.
Correct.